Welcome to another episode of libGDX-Graph devlog. In this episode, I'll show you how to do a more fancy 2D outline shader and that uses textures alpha channel. It will work for sprites that are opaque so that they do not have any pixels with alpha other than 0 and 1. So in previous episode, one of the commenters said that the edges of this plant with outline are very jagged because of I draw the outline either as alpha 0 or 1. As you can see in this case, edges in the new way I'm drawing, the outline is much more smooth and nicer looking. So to achieve this, we have to do a little bit more work with the texture itself. As you can see, I have a Gimp program here opened with the sprite sheet of this animation for this object. And so first what I need to do is I want to select all of those pixels that are opaque. So I'll have to increase the threshold to maximum to make sure I'm selecting every pixel here. I'm holding Shift to select all of them. So I have all the pixels selected now using this wand tool, and now what I'll do is select row, which will grow the selection. I'll grow it by 6 pixels, and then I'll do a feather. Basically makes that the edges of the selection are gonna have some kind of alpha applied to it. I'll do a feather selection by 3. All the values are up to you, whatever you want to achieve. Whatever you're gonna see in this application is what you're gonna see outline on screen. Now I'll create here a new layer to make sure I don't overwrite the pixels because I want to be able to modify that later. And I'll choose a color of the outline. I go with white. And what's important here is that I should lower the opacity. That's because anything that is fully opaque, so the alpha of 1, will be considered an actual sprite. So this orange yellowy blob. And anything that is less than 1 but greater than 0 is going to be considered alpha. And that's why I need to lower the opacity a little bit. And now I fill out quickly this sprite with the selection with the white color with the opacity of 98. I just move the layer to be underneath. And now I'll export this image to a separate PNG file to use in my application. In my pipeline, I'll now create a new shader called, using the animated sprite template because it's animated as well, I'll call it animated outline. And I'll edit it. So what we want to do, first I'll reuse the preview texture to make sure that I'm using them to be able to see the effects. As you can see, I'm using here the outline texture. I'll make sure that it's for our testing purposes here is set correctly. I'll set the animation speed as well. Sorry, animation speed, not animation looping. Okay, so at the moment we are displaying the outline as it is. It has to be alpha here as well. So what I need to do here instead is create a new property. I'll call it outline. It will have a value of 0 if the outline should not be drawn and value of 1 if it should be drawn. I'll bring it into the graph here and I'll use the conditional node. So when I'm going to say if outline is equal to 1, then I want to output actual alpha. That way it's going to be drawn normally. However, if it's not, outline is not turned on, so it's not equal to 1, I want to output either 1 or 0 depending on the alpha. So for that I'll use the step function. So I'll take the alpha here and use a step of, well, I can use this one, step of 1, and that's going to be outputted if the outline is not 1. So let's try it out now. Okay, we have a drawing if the outline is 0. If I modify the outline is going to be drawn the way we're supposed to be This approach allows you to do some stuff. You can have different sprite sheets, so different sprites colored differently, or you can use gradient as the outline or anything else in your imagination, because you basically paint the outline by yourself. But rather than having separate sprite sheets for outlined and not outlined image, not outlined sprite, you have all of them in one. Just that you use the alpha channel as kind of signal what is an outline and what is an actual sprite. I hope you find this useful. Please consider subscribing and liking the video. And if you have ideas what you'd like to see in the next videos, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.